Pains of Sleep by Samuel Taylor Coleridge, 1772 to 1834. Ere on my bed my limbs I lay, it hath not been my use to pray with moving lips or bended knees, but silently, by slow degrees, my spirit I to love compose, in humble trust mine eyelids close, with reverential resignation, no wish conceived, no thought expressed, only a sense of supplication, a sense o'er all my soul impressed, that I am weak, yet not unblest, since in me, round me everywhere, eternal strength and wisdom are. But yester-night I prayed aloud in anguish and in agony, upstarting from the fiendish crowd of shapes and thoughts that tortured me, a lurid light, a trampling throng, a sense of intolerable wrong, and whom I scorned, those only strong. Thirst of revenge, the powerless will, still baffled and yet burning still. Desire with loathing strangely mixed, on wild or hateful objects fixed. Fantastic passions, maddening brawl, and shame and terror over all. Deeds to be hid, which were not hid, which all confused I could not know, whether I suffered or I did. For all seemed guilt, remorse or woe, my own or others still the same, life-stifling fear, soul-stifling shame. 2 nights passed, the night's dismay saddened and stunned the coming day. Sleep, the wide blessing, seemed to me distemper's worst calamity. The 3rd night, when my own loud scream had wakened me from the fiendish dream, o'ercome with sufferings strange and wild, I wept as I had been a child, and having thus by tears subdued my anguish to a milder mood, such punishments I said were due to natures deepliest stained with sin, for I, in tempesting anew the unfathomable hell within, the horror of their deeds to view, to know and loathe, yet wish and do, such griefs with such men well agree. But wherefore fall on me? To be loved is all I need, and whom I love indeed. Okay, this is a poem by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. He was born in Devon, that's the southwest of England. He was one of the founders of the Romantic movement. He was a Romanticist, and he went to Jesus College, Cambridge. He also was addicted to opium. Now, what's this poem about? Well, I think this poem is about the horrors that humans, that mankind is able to do, and the speaker is unable to sleep because when he sleeps, his mind is full of nightmares, full of terrible images, and these represent the horrors that mankind is able to commit, and he's unable to get these out of his mind. And he says that the only cure for these horrors of mankind mankind is love. Love is the only thing that can do anything to these. That love is the way out. He's been lying on his bed and he's unable to sleep properly, and he describes his situation. So the pains of sleep, and that's really what it's about. But this is the horrors of mankind. Ere on my bed my limbs I lay. So I lay down on my bed. It hath not been my use to pray. So I don't normally pray with moving lips or bended knees, but silently by slow degrees. So I don't normally, I'm not a person to get down on my knees and pray to God, saying words to God. But if I do, it's something I do silently. By slow degrees my spirit I to love compose. So, but slowly I funneled my spirit, myself, into a state of love, into a composure of love. In humble trust mine eyelids close with reverential resignation. No wish conceived, no thought expressed, only a sense of supplication. So I'm lying on my bed and I give myself up to love. That I am, I empty my mind as if I were meditating. I don't think about the things I want. My mind is blank. And I only beg, and I think he's begging God. He's begging he's talking to God. So he's not begging. He's just asking God for a solution to his problem of sleep. We haven't seen that. A sense o'er all my soul impressed that I am weak, yet not unblest. Since in me, round me, everywhere, eternal strength and wisdom are. So my soul is impressed with the idea that I'm weak, that I'm only human, but I'm not forgotten by God. I'm not unblessed by God, because God is in me, God is round me, and everywhere around me are the eternal strength and the wisdom. I think the wisdom of love. So I'm not alone, even though I feel weak and I'm not worthy, really. He's trying to relax and clean his thoughts, and feel that he's part of the world around him. But yester-night I prayed aloud in anguish and in agony. So, but last night I started praying aloud in pain, in agony, upstarting from the fiendish crowd of shapes and thoughts that tortured me. So suddenly there were these terrible images that woke me from sleep. I upstarted from sleep, and there's a crowd of fiends. That the fiends are are torturing me. That there are devils and of shapes and thoughts that tortured me. So all sorts of terrible things tortured me. I woke up and then I prayed. A lurid light, a trampling throng. So a weird coloured light, and a throng of people trampling over everything, destroying everything that was good. Sense of intolerable wrong. So I had this feeling of something that was wrong, but it was totally intolerable. And he's thinking that these are the things that that are horrifying him in his dreams. And this is why he got up yesterday and he prayed on his knees. And whom I scorned, those only strong. So he scorned, he turned his back on these people, but these fiends, these things, but they were strong. Yeah, I scorned these strong people, and he felt a thirst for revenge. The powerless will. So you desire to do things, but you are still powerless. And this is this throng that are going round after him. They are haunting him. This group of people, and they want revenge. They leave my will powerless. I am baffled. I am confused, but burning with pain. Burning. I'm confused. I'm unable to understand these emotions, but I'm at the mercy of these people. So I'm still burning. Desire with loathing strangely mixed. So I feel desire and loathing at the same time. I want something, but I hate the things that I want. And this is raising passions. I want it, but I hate the fact that I want it. On strangely mixed, on wild or hateful objects fixed. So I'm desiring the wildest, most strangest things, or even hateful, disgusting things. Fantastic passions, maddening brawl. So I am besieged by fantastic passions. I am fighting. There's this maddening brawl, this fight which is fighting. There are all sorts of negative emotions and shame and terror overall, and I felt embarrassment and terrified. Deeds to be hid which were not hid. So things that you were embarrassed about, that you didn't want people to know because they were so evil, but everybody knew them, which all confused. I could not know whether I suffered or I did, and I was really, really confused, because these deeds, these acts that should be hidden, I was so confused. I didn't know whether I'd committed these deeds or whether they had been done to me, or both at the same time, and his mind is in a turmoil. For all seemed guilt, remorse or woe. So everything, I felt guilty. I felt sad that I had done these things. I felt woe, sadness. My own or others still the same. And it didn't matter if I had done these things or other people had done them. I still felt guilty. I still felt bad. And maybe that's because even if other people have committed these crimes, I am still capable of these things. And people that people are going to know I am capable. And this is a fear that stifles, that chokes life. So fear that stops you doing things, that stops you living. Embarrassment that chokes, that stifles your soul. So the embarrassment, the horror of these things, or the horror of the ability to commit these acts, is something that destroys me with fear. It destroys me with shame. So 2 nights passed, and he spent 2 nights like this, in this nightmare of horrors, of the horrors of humanity. The night's dismay saddened and stunned the coming day. So he spent 2 nights like this, and the problems of the night meant that he was sad, and he was just stunned. His mind was in toil the next day. Sleep, the wide blessing seemed to me distemper's worst calamity. So his sleep was destroyed. Maybe he couldn't sleep, or he could sleep, but the feelings, the emotions of this sleep, he was unable to escape from the horror of these things, because of this illness, this horror of humanity. The third night, when my own loud scream had wakened me from the fiendish dream, overcome with sufferings strange and wild, I wept as I had been a child. And on the third night I was sleeping, and then I woke up screaming of these about these horrors. So sleep doesn't take this away from him. He doesn't have the rest of sleep, and he's woken up from this dream of hell, of fiends. And I was overcome with strange and wild sufferings, and I started to cry, as if I had been a child, as if I was a child that had been woken from a nightmare. And normally, as a child, this is where the parents come in and they comfort the child. And having thus by tears subdued my anguish to a milder mood, and after crying I felt a little better. Crying calmed me down a little bit, and I stopped crying and I felt a little bit softer. Such punishments, I said, were due to natures deeply stained with sin. And then I said to myself, well, these dreams, these nightmares are because of the sins in nature, the sins of humans, the sins that everyone does, that the nature of the human being is stained with sin. For I am tempting anew the unfathomable hell within, the horror of their deeds to view. So this hell, I'm seeing the horrors of hell, and it's because I'm tempted, because I'm human, that I will view these horrible deeds, and I'm being made to know and loathe, to know and act on the things that humans do, that they wish to do, and the things that the desire in their heart, and the things that they do. Such griefs with such men well agree. So these horrors, these are things that some people like, but wherefore fall on me? But why am I the one to experience these? Why am I the one to know the horrors of humankind? To be loved is all I need, and whom I love indeed. So this is unfair, because the only thing I need is to be loved, and I need and the people that I love truly and dearly. And love is the pure emotion. Notice at the beginning, when he starts praying, he opens his mind to love, and here again he's talking about the purity of love. And love is the reality of what humans can do, although many are in this hell on earth, these horrors. But love is the way. Love is the way forth. Love is the only cure. So enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. The Pains of Sleep by Samuel Taylor Coleridge.